Hey, good morning, everybody. How is it going? So excited to be here with you guys. Good to see that we got Dave Kessler coming in from Tier C, Richard Hartley from England, Bruce Kennedy from Michigan. Bruce, I'm seriously considering a ride the world up in the UP this coming year. I don't know if that makes sense at all. I got to figure that out. But anyway, Jeff Elmore from Gunnison and Kim Jackson from wonderful Wyoming, wild Wyoming. I love Wyoming, by the way, so very much. I like Wyoming. Hoosa Island coming in, Hoosa Islander coming in from another one of my favorite places, Vancouver Island, up in Canada. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous place. People, if you've never been there, highly recommend it. It's beautiful. I've never ridden a dirt bike there, but Husa says it's awesome, and I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's the only place I've ever seen helicopter logging happening in a raging storm. It was crazy. TJ coming in from Moab. How's the head feeling, dude? Mine's all good. Brady Metter from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the greatest state in the union. Which obviously I moved away from to be in the mountains, but I still do love Colorado. Yeah, Bruce Kennedy, the UP would be worth it. Bring a fly net for the head. That's my serious, like my only concern is I hate bugs. So I don't really know if I want to go down that path. But yeah, anyway. Dude named Eric coming in from Nebraska. Where are you from Nebraska again? I know we've talked about that. All right, finally got back on the dirt scooter last week. I'm glad to hear that, TJ. That is awesome. All right, I'm going to start my recorder for the audio version of this podcast, which I don't even know. I haven't really, well, I think I can figure out how many times people are listening to it, but I have no idea. Anyway, it seems like a good idea because I know there's a lot of you guys that drive around for work and stuff like that, so you can listen to it if you can't get a chance to watch. Kim Jackson, wild and windy, Wyoming this week. Yeah, Wyoming does have the tendency for a lot of wind. David City near Columbus, Fremont. We both know a professor from Wayne State. That's right. I knew we knew people from Wayne State, and really the only town in Nebraska I've ever actually been to and stayed for more than like as I drove through is Wayne, Nebraska. There's my mom. Coming in, her coffee's hot and my comments are ridiculous. Mom, where were you last week? We didn't see you. Hey, Tom Lynn, coming in from the Front Range. It's good to see you, man. Oh man, how is everybody? Like, we're a little early here. We'll start right at 7:30. We'll start with the actual action. But and get your questions ready. I don't have any. I do have a couple questions from on the line. One from Miss Kim Jackson, and let me get that pulled up here because she had a good question. Let's see, Kim, was that on? Can't remember if that was direct messaging or through the thing. I think it was through the deal. Hang on. Sorry, guys. There we go. Boom. So got that pulled up and got a couple other ones too. So make sure you got your questions ready, guys. We'll answer anything you want to answer. There's Mike Barnato coming in. Moto man. Plastic prep. There you go, Kimmy. I got it. I finally, anyway. Garrett Anderson throwing the horns early. I like it. Oh, that's right. My mom was on the croquet lawns in Hartfield, Virginia. I never know where my parents are. Like, they live in Oklahoma City, but honestly, they could be anywhere on earth at any moment. I get messages from them all the time, like, "Oh, we're on a plane to France." I'm like, "Oh, what?" Anyway, it's awesome. I love you guys so much. I'm so glad you guys are out goofing off. It's a good thing. Michael Webster, yes. Any question? Well, I'll do my best. Go for it, man. We got I don't know how it's Justin. It's Sayak and Justin. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, my mom. Yeah, Kim. She asked playing croquet. Yes, they play croquet all over. They don't play croquet all over the world, but they That's mainly in the United States, but they do play croquet all over the United States. So it's crazy. All right, guys, welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels, number 155, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments and my comments are absolutely ridiculous. Michael Webster says, "Who really shot Kennedy?" That is a good one. I don't know. I think Osborne was a pawn in the game, but the shut me Justin, but it's just Justin works right on. That's good. I'm going to stick with that. Justin is easier. There's Bike Vault, Jeff Greenwood coming in. So guys, let's just start it off. Kim Jackson asked for a question, which is a good question. And it's an interesting answer. She said, would you explain the prep work on the old plastic before applying the new graphics? So if you guys watched my little short of me changing out the clothes on Daisy, I got her all freshened up, and now she looks just like the 125 Eileen. So now they're a matching pair, which I like. It makes me happy in my heart. But the deal is that version is just brand new plastics and graphics. I have a great support from Decal Works. Sean Murdoch there helps me out quite a bit, and so I just had them put the graphics on the plastic and ship it all together, all in one box and ready to go to just put it on. So that's how that happened. But Kim, that is a great question because a lot of times I don't do that. This time it just made sense. But also I had a bunch of broken plastic, like the shroud. Anyway, whatever, it was hammered. So, but here's how that works in case you're wondering. So if you're going to use your old plastics, still in good shape, not broken, and you want to use that, the best thing I found is you first of all, get the plastic, the old graphics off, and I use a heat gun to warm it up and peel them off. And then you got to go back a lot of times and like clean the glue off. I've got some 3M glue remover stuff that helps get that all off and get it clean. Then I take brake cleaner and spray the whole thing down with brake cleaner to dry any kind of oils or anything like that off. And then if there's any scratches, I take emery cloth or really just emery cloth. Scotch-Brite's is usually not strong enough. And I sand it all down to make it flat because who cares if it's dull, right? Because you're putting stickers over it. Sand it all down to make sure it's flat. Then I go back with the brake clean. And then I use the air nozzle, spray it all off. And then final thing is I take the soapy water, spray that on, and put the new graphics on. So that's that's how I do it. There's Jimmy Neihart coming in. What is up, Kimasabi? Bruce Kennedy, when I was in Gunnison, I found the marble courts were a weird thing. Are there marble courts in Gunnison? That's awesome. Hey, my mom wants to know who all is coming to the Gold Rush, because who are you bringing to the Gold? Oh, Bikewise. Also, who here is coming to the Gold Rush? I know Brady. I'm really hoping Jimmy Neihart. I will be racing the 125 at the Gold Rush. I'm actually going to bring the 300 also because it'll be a spare. Also, I've never raced the 125 wide open that much like I am going to on the road, so I'm a little bit afraid of what I might do to it, but it should be fine. But so I'm going to bring that, but I'm planning on racing the 125 and hopefully beating up on both Eric Bryan and Brady Metter. So that's the goal. Yeah, Bruce Kennedy, I knew what you meant, the game marbles. I didn't know they had courts there. That's weird. Hey, there's Mike Coles. Love having you here too, dude. See, don't bolt your tank shrouds to radiators. Use zip ties instead. The zip tie will break before the plastics do. Yeah, that's a great tip. I also like the rubber band setup that Bulletproof supplies with some of them. And then my mom wants to know who's coming for the muffin count. That's important. There you go. Mike Barnato. I like it. Graphics add weight, just numbers and stickers. Mike's bike looks awesome. I have just enough vanity in me that I just like having a shiny, cool looking bike. Can I drop my bike off weekend of 11/7 and leave with you for fork service? Maybe have you look at a couple other things. No pro. Unfortunately, that is the weekend we're going to be in Oklahoma. I will be coming back on the 7th, I think. So unfortunately, I will not be there. Well, I'll be coming back that Tuesday. I'll be back in shop that Tuesday. Actually, hang on, no pro. Yes, I think you can. Give me a call or shoot me a message later today. But Zach and Leandra are staying here. They're not coming to the Gold Rush, so I think they're going to be open, and I don't think they have any plans to take any time off. So yes, I think that would work. Shoning, yes, muffins. That's why you should come to the Gold Rush. My mom makes pumpkin muffins every year, like a mountain of them, and they're phenomenal. So it's so good. Um, Garrett Anderson, yes, we've seen that I can't be trusted with big horsepower 100%. Jimmy Neihart is a no-go. I lost my van hookup. Apparently, all the Hertz Nugent because of a pandemic. Oh, Jimmy Neihart makes me sad. So sad. You need to buy a van, by the way. Bobby Joe, good morning, sunshine. Dirt bike talk in the morning. What a great way to start the day. Hey, right on, man. It's the first time I've seen you. I don't know who you are, Bobby, but great to see you here. Yes, as my mom says, as Fernando Lamas would say, it is important to look good. It is important to look good. Bruce Kennedy, yes. Leandra will be walking Kevin while I'm gone. By the way, Bruce, thank you so much for that. She loves that stupid alligator. It's so good. Yeah, it's awesome. So thank you. Yeah, Brady Metter. Jimmy, go buy a new van. They're only 20 to 25K more than sticker price. Yeah. Brady just found a Transit that's a lot like mine. It's got a couple nicer things on it than mine, but not a lot. And it was $20,000 more than what I paid for mine a year ago. It's just crazy. It's nuts. Yeah, more importantly, go faster. I will go faster. Absolutely. Let's see. Make sure I didn't. Okay, didn't miss anything. So, anyway, Kim, I hope that answers your question. I think that, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, it answered. I think it answers the question. But the biggest part of that is the fact that I did not actually on that situation put the graphics onto the plastic. And by the way, if anyone out there has a hammered old looking bike or whatever, and you want to do shine it all up, I cannot recommend Decal Works enough. It's not because they help me out. It's because a few things. Let me tell you why. First of all, they do a great job. It looks awesome. All that stuff. That's great. A few companies do that. They're super fast with their proofs and getting things back to you. So that's really cool. Then they offer the install of the graphics onto the plastics, and they sell the plastics for the same you'd buy the plastics for anywhere, right? So you're not paying any more for it. The graphics cost what they cost, and then the install they charge like $40 to install all those stickers on all those plastics, which is way cheap. Way cheap. I charge way more than that at the shop. So, anyway, yeah, highly recommend them. And then the other cool thing, at least with KTM's, I don't know on Yamaha like that. I've ordered some for Japanese bikes, but I can't remember. But the KTM plastics have a bunch of weird like collars, and anyway, they use Polysport plastics, and they come with all that stuff. So it's awesome. It's just a bolt right up and ready to go. And Brady, I like the looks of your hammered old bike, except for you can't really say that because your hammered old bike it never gets ridden, so it's not really hammered. The van market is nuts. Seeing $200,000 sprinters, like how? Yeah, serious house money. I'll sell my 13 E350 extended with 260,000 miles on it for 15K if anyone's looking. That's awesome. Yeah, Mike Barnato. It's hard and takes a long time to put graphics on. It takes forever to get all the bubbles out and make it look nice. So yeah, $40 is nothing. And like I said, it just shows up. Yeah, you like that, Beverly Boys? Yeah. Thank you so much. This is a shirt from it's Jarrett. I can't pronounce your last. It's I'm I completely botched that. Anyway, this is his company, and they do. By the way, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Orbital Welding. I had not. I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up, dude. Holy moly, that is the coolest thing ever, dude. Like that. Anyway, that is awesome. It's like a thing you put onto these pipes. We got two pipes, like in a boiler for like a big power plant, come together, and then you bolt this thing on there, put it on there, and it, well, it's amazing. Anyway, super cool. I quit looking for a van. His prices are crazy here too. Yeah. Eric Bryan, LOL. Brady has a dirt bike? Question mark. That's awesome. It's not a two-stroke. Oh, the van or the Brady's bike? Because yeah, it's definitely not a two-stroke either. Yeah. So anyway, let me get to some questions. But the van market's ridiculous, and I honestly feel so lucky and so blessed by God that I got the van when I got it, because that all lined up. It could not have lined up any better, but it was awesome. Shoning, Brady has a bike. He just doesn't ever ride it. All right. So I have a couple questions from the interwebs. These are from Instagram. First one is from NorCal Two-Stroke Rider. Have you tried the stick metering rod? No, I have not. I have not tried that yet. I want to. So here's the thing. I would love to. It's kind of an expensive mod to do, although I have a carburetor, so I might send that in and get it done. The other thing is I'm so happy with the way my bike runs, and I know that you don't know what you don't know, right? So it could run better, but God, does it run good right now? All of them run so well. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So someday, I don't know, maybe I'll do it. I do want to try one. I hear they're amazing. The other thing, if you guys haven't seen it, it's on the Schlog, anyway, it's on something other video. Kelsey from RK Tech sent me his custom piston and custom head and gasket setup for my 300, because I'm going to be rebuilding the 300 from the bottom up. As soon as I get this, I'm waiting on one more bearing, which I should have at the beginning of next month. So that's going to be good. Shunning. It did go over my head. Well, if you risk it, let's see. And in Shoning, if you're talking about Brady and Aliff's love for each other or lack thereof, I get it. But anyway, so you got the oil yesterday. Jimmy and I got they tried to hide my two-stroke oil. I'm glad that showed up, because yeah, that's a bummer. It took too long. Let's see. New dirt bike prices are on the up here too. New Sherco is $14,900, so 15 grand. That is crazy. Let's see. Andy BJ, thanks for the throttle upgrade tip. Ordered it before I even finished the video. I've been having issues with sticky feel and hard pull on my 17. Can't wait to try it. Yes, Andy, I'm so glad. If you guys haven't watched the video of me on my 300 in Dry Creek, I took the new style throttle from my 21, my 125, and put it onto my 18. And it's crazy expensive, but the cable comes with like a little pulley wheel on it, like the old anyway, whatever. It's awesome. So if you're having problems with like the 17, 18 carbureted KTM throttle pull that sucks, maybe even the 19s that have the carbs, the TXs and XCs, it fixes. It's so good. Anyway, Beverly Boys, what do you think about aftermarket exhaust for two-stroke? What are the benefits? So the thing about two-strokes is you can tune with a pipe. You can tune a two-stroke to do anything you want, from trials to crazy supercross to over rev. Anyway, so yeah, huge benefits to aftermarket exhaust. It just depends on what you want. Like a FMF gnarly makes a lot of low end power. The Pro Circuit Platinum 2 is like bolting a turbocharger to your bike, but they're really, really soft and they bend really easy, which is a bummer. And then, yeah, I've never tried a Bills or some of those old the cone pipes and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, there's a ton you can do with a pipe. For me, Beverly Boys, I just like whatever's toughest. So SRT makes a basically a clone for your stock pipe, and they work great. They don't have problems. They're awesome. They're really, really heavy duty, and they work good, and they're cheap. They're like 150, 160 bucks versus 250, which is for FMF Pro Circuit. But if you want all the power, then buy a Pro Circuit. Kim Jackson, what is a domino? Domino is the old style throttle housing on KTMs. So 16 and back had the domino. That's the company that made it, with a big pulley on the top, and they were great. They worked really good. But KTM got rid of it. I do like the 21 with the little pulley in the thing. It's expensive, but I like the fact that it's lower profile than the domino. So if you're in a big crash, it's maybe less likely to get messed up. Garrett Anderson, there you go. Just buy a Yamaha. I agree. They come with that style. Mike Barnato, yes, fixing dents is exactly what we're doing. Let's see. I am on the wrong Wi-Fi network, guys, and I'm seeing some stuff that's doing it. So I'm gonna try. Give me a second. We're gonna switch Wi-Fi networks, and it's gonna disconnect and then come back. And we're back. There we go. I'm never gonna quit crashing. Hey, what's happening? But Gary M, it's good to see you. Patrick Beatty, what's happening? But the thing is, I actually generally do more damage to my pipe not crashing than crashing. Crashing does damage to my head and other parts of the bike. But it seems like when I'm trying to go fast, I'd slam into right. Anyway, whatever, it happens. Anybody check the price of a Yamaha throttle? No, I have actually. Well, in the past I have. They're probably expensive, but that little, I don't know, it's pretty cool. So let's see. Oh, and Brady, if you're talking about crashing on my throttle, it's gonna happen. Whatever. I don't care. All right. Justin Staples 321 from Instagram asks, so how did the legendary Sheets build the TPS timing light? What in the black magic tarnation with 2 RC car batteries? I can't honestly remember which bike. If you're serious about it, so yes, it was for a CRF 450R 2010, and I don't have a picture of it, and sadly I don't know exactly what he did, but basically he got some RC batteries and wired them up to be able to plug it into the throttle position sensor to provide voltage, and then read it with his meter, and then move it until it was set right. So yeah, I should have taken a picture of it. There's a temporary build, it's like not a kit, because he put it back in his box, but he could do it again pretty easily. He might have made like a wiring harness for it now, so he can just like hook it up to the battery. I don't know. But yeah, he used a low voltage RC battery, because you got to do like 5 volts or something like that. It's not 12. So anyway, he got the right battery voltage out of one of his RC batteries, and he hooked that to the thing, and then hooked the thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see. And then Justin Staples also asks, also thinking about working on bikes for people on the side. Is there a good website you use for manuals, mostly Japanese bikes? So yes, I think it's manualslib.com, and that's stands for library. So I guess manuals lib, but it's manualslib.com. And they have manuals for a ton of stuff. A lot of them are free. Some of them you have to pay for, but they're really, really good. Brady Metter used nipple clamps on that thing. I think he did. I don't know. I don't know what he did. Hey, James Tully, what's happening, Jim? And Bruce Kennedy, more likely a roach clip. But yeah, he he did a great job and it worked out great. So let's see. All right. Any other questions? Keep them coming, guys. I love you guys so much, by the way. Thank you for being here. If you're here and you're having fun, real quick, whether it's live or later, watching it on replay, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching live right now, you have to back out of the chat, hit the button, and then come back in. And if you don't do that, my mom's going to kick your butt. Hey, there's Patrick Vakurka. How's it going, dude? Patrick is the adventure spec guy here in the United States. And Patrick has been incredibly generous to us and helped us out a ton. I just got done doing all the cool guy stuff on the 700 Tenere for my brother-in-law, and it turned out really, really good. I just finished editing the tail tidy install video. I still have the crash bar and the skid plate stuff to do, but you guys should just definitely check that out. So yeah, it will be. Anyway, thank you, Patrick. By the way, if you have a 700 Tenere, if you can find a 700 Tenere and you own one, I do highly recommend the Adventure Spec stuff. It's super lightweight. It fits really, really, really well, and it looks great. So, Jim, who's going to Endurocross? I am not, because I'm leaving next Wednesday night for Oklahoma to go race down there. So I got to stay here and ride and all that good stuff. Kevin O'Laughlin, there he is, man. Went on an adventure ride Sunday, saw this 88 Yamaha TDR 350 two-stroke. Are you sure it was a 350 and not a 250? Kevin, I didn't know they made a 350, but that is awesome. My buddy, Bruce Keene, who's never on here, but he has a house here and in Texas. He has 3 TDR 250s, and I got to ride one recently. It is awesome. It's a twin two-stroke adventure bike from the 80s. It's super cool. Let's see. Bruce Kennedy, lube a starter Sprag clutch, yes or no? What's that on? Because most Sprag clutches ride in oil. So all the ones on KTMs and stuff like that ride in oil. If it's on a and now you're not talking about a Bendix. I'm just, Bruce knows what he's talking about when it comes to mechanical stuff. So if it's not in oil, I don't know, probably, I guess, I don't know. I'm trying to think of one. I don't know. Your Beta 200 is dry. I feel like you probably have to, because eventually that thing's going to wear out in the lube. Like I said, in a 4-stroke, it's riding in motor oil. So it obviously works with lubrication on it. And it probably would make it last longer. Let's see. Ted King, you got snow yet? Do not send it to Kansas. Ted, we have snow up high, but nothing down here. So actually, Thursday night ride tonight, guys, if you want to come, we're riding into the night again. I'm going to be on the 125, so I'm just going to have a helmet light. So I won't probably go super, super deep into the evening like we did last week, but I'm definitely going to go out to Dry Creek. Conditions are perfect right now. Let's see. West Eats, yes, there's one this weekend in Denver. Actually, 2 rounds, Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. Anyway, they're doing 2 rounds. It's going to be awesome. What's the most common problems you come across on dirt bikes? Richard Hartley, good. And by the way, Kevin, sure, it was 350. It probably was a 350. I just didn't know they made a 350, but that's awesome. Well, they should, because they had RD 350. Anyway, whatever. That's super rad. Those bikes are really cool. Richard Hartley, the most common problems I come across on dirt bike. That's a great question. Tons of problems caused by lack of air filter maintenance. Tons and tons of problems with that. If you watch my videos, you'll see how often that happens. And that ranges from everything from blown up top ends to blown up bottom ends to valves, all kinds of stuff. We actually have a bike that just came in that, yeah, the crank is junk because of that. Sad. Let's see what else. I'm just thinking of common. Fork seals, we do. I mean, leaky suspension constantly. That's that. Chain issues. It seems like that's waned a little bit. I think chains have gotten a lot better, and so, and sprockets with the advent of DDC and dirt tricks, sprockets don't wear out as fast. But yeah, let's see. Beta put out on the flywheel side underneath, may put a bit of oil on it. Bruce, I would. Like, I don't like, I mean, two strokes that are dry, like my YZs with nothing in there but a flywheel spinning around, that's awesome to have dry. But when they have starter things in them, they need lubrication. And so, they did KTM did the whole thing and the grease and had the Bendix, and anyway, well, that was a nightmare. And those, they had the wet mod you could do to that, and then that was like popular, that it wasn't popular, whatever. I think oil is a good thing. So there we go. Let's see. Most common problem is user error. There you go, Garrett Anderson. Absolutely. Who's the Islander? 700 cc's of oil in that 17300. I run more like 8 in mine. I thought they call for like 850. Let's see. Bruce Kennedy, ever turn away a repair customer as in, sorry, dude, that bike is junk? Yes. Lots of times. Usually I let them drop it off and I'll go ahead and take a look at what they're asking me to take a look at, just to, make sure I'm not just judging a book by its cover, because sometimes they're hammered looking, but you get in there mechanically, it's okay. It's just they don't ever clean it. So they've got issues, but like whatever. But then usually what happens is I look at it, it's like, all right, man. And I'll pull it up on the lift, take a good look at it, call them and say, dude, this thing needs way too much work. Unless you have $4,000 to spend on it, which you shouldn't, then you should come pick it up. So yeah, it happens a lot actually. So, yeah, there you go. My mom is coming. I love it. On my second cup of hot coffee, but the comments need to be more ridiculous. There you go, guys. My mom is giving you the license. Mark Payne, any ideas for longer throttle cable for Sherco 300? Yeah, well, I mean, I guess no one makes it, I'm assuming. Couple options. One, you can call Motion Pro and they will make you whatever cable you want. So, you'd have to talk to someone. I don't know if they're making them for Shercos or what, I don't know. But so you could call them and tell them, or you could, I mean, if you have time, you could buy, or money, you could buy another one and send it to Motion Pro and said, make me one of these that is 3 inches longer or whatever. So that's one option. It's pretty pricey. It could take a lot of time, but you'd end up with a really, really nice cable. The other option, Mark, is to build your own or come to a shop like mine that actually can build cables. Hand me your old cable and we'll make it whatever length you want. So it's because cables, it's not hard to build cables, but it's hard if you don't have the old cable to match like how do I put this? The difference in the housing and the cable is the most important part. Like the overall length obviously has to be right to, whatever. But the difference between the housing and the actual cable with the knobs on the end is the most important part, and the part that changes from bike to bike to bike to bike. And that has to be right. And it has to be the same no matter how long the whole thing is. And so if you've broken it already or whatever, it can take a little trial and error. So anyway, there you go. See, CC Wright, morning, sir. Want to say excellent job finding where that washer you found in the KTM's bottom end goes. Oh, dude, thanks. That was, I'm so glad I split those cases and found that. I still don't know how I got there. I talked to Robbie, who got the bike from anyway, whatever. No one has any clue, or no one's admitting to anything. So, let's see. Chris Kinberg, any maintenance needed on starters? Eventually brushes need to be replaced and things like that, but generally it's not much that's maintainable. Matt Andreas, a tablespoon of oil in the little oil well for the beta. It's under the Bendix. There we go. Matt Andreas, he's a beta guy. Thanks, Matt, for chiming in. Haven't talked to you in a while, man. I hope things are going well. I see your posts. It looks like you're having fun, so that's awesome. But yeah, Bruce Kennedy, Matt's been hammering on betas for a while. He loves them very much, so he would know. Dave Cussler, reroute your cable behind the handlebar. That is, yeah, that's back to Mark Payne's. That helps a lot. That's one of the reasons KTM's have them back there. But sometimes, Dave, I don't I don't necessarily support this, but sometimes people put such high bars on there that you got to put a longer cable. But I don't think, I mean, unless you're 7'6", you don't need to do that. Ted King, yes, I make cables. Yeah, truly old school. Yeah, I got all the stuff, man. We can make cables for anything. Mike Klinger out hitting our desert trails right now. Yes, that's awesome, Michael. I hope you're having fun. Michael Webster, have I ever rebuilt an old Montesa or Boltaco engine? No, I have not. The oldest, coolest thing I've worked on is it was an old Triumph, a 67, no, excuse me, 67 Norton. I didn't rebuild the motor, but I rebuilt the magneto and carbs and stuff like that. It was awesome. The Bruce Kennedy, Matt, not sure if the place to do it on the 200, but definitely look. The other thing is you can just like, I mean, I don't know about that cover. I mean, surely there's got to be a little cover, but you can put oil in there. I just use super lightweight stuff like 5-weight fork oil or something like that. Kevin O'Laughlin, move the bars closer to the carb. That's brilliant. Oh, I love it. Bike Vault, aka Jeff. Any experience with CRF 450L Sprag gear failing? My mate starter was just spinning today. 10 kilometers in the jungle. Couldn't get the bump, so you had to tow it out. That sounds horrid. Super sorry about that, Bike Vault. No, I actually haven't had problems with Honda starters. Like I've had the starter fail a few times on some Hondas, but that's about it. Brady Metter, how do I route the cables on the van? The way the van people routed them. I love you, Brady Metter. I cannot wait to see you down in Oklahoma. There you go. Speaking of Triumph, what do you think about them making Enduro and MX bikes, Andy? I think it's interesting. I don't know how that's going to go. There's no way Triumph is building. Well, I don't know. They could be building those bikes in Britain, but I have a feeling they're doing an Indian China kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe not. I have a hard time believing that they're tooling up there in old UK to build bikes, but maybe they are. But I think it's great. Like, I hope that they're good. I hope that they're really good. I hope that they put everybody into a defensive mode to try to figure out how to compete with them, because we need more real competition, and it would be awesome. Yeah, Brady says what I'm thinking. Triumph, all new badass bike, Lucas Electronics and everything. So the old joke is, why do the British not make computers? The answer is they haven't figured out how to make them leak oil yet. So there you go. I don't know. Hey, No Pro, Wes, have an awesome day. Have a great day. I hope to see you soon. Like I said, message me. I think we can definitely take your bike in. The Leandra and Zach will be there. Maybe I'll just move the bars as far right as I can. That's hilarious, Mark. The cable. I don't know where you live, Mark, but hopefully somewhere where you live they can make cables. Brady, you're lucky. My mom's gonna make you your own freaking muffins. There we go, Andy. Once the smoke gets out of all the wires, it's broke. That's exactly what's going to happen with Triumph. I'm just kidding. I really do hope they make something cool. I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I saw Ricky Carmichael riding an adventure bike, but I haven't seen anything else. I don't know if anybody else has seen any spy photos or anything like that, but that's all I've seen. Bruce Kennedy says, take the ape hangers off that bike, Mark. Yeah, and so Mark, in all honesty, I don't know what kind of bar setup you have and all that stuff, but Cody Webb is 6'3". I don't know, he's big, and he does not run tall bars. So I'm just saying that. I'm not saying you got to put, like, you do what you got to do to be comfortable and have fun. I don't care, but just think about that. Like, the really good riders, they don't put super tall bars on their bikes. So Anyway, I put just a tiny bit taller than stock, just because I've grown so used to it. Let's see. I heard tonight was Dry Creek again. Yes, it is. I thought the GPX and me were going to make it, but supporting kids are taking precedence. Well, you got to absolutely got to take care of the kids, man. But yeah, tonight's Dry Creek, and I think actually this will be the last Thursday night ride, except for all night dark ones, because next week we're going to Oklahoma, and we will not be doing a Thursday night ride because we'll be in Oklahoma at Hallett Motor Racing Circuit that Thursday night. And then when we get back, the time will have changed. It's going to be dark at like 5. Ted King, Lucas, the Prince of Darkness, absolutely. Brady Metter, I'll never ride one. They won't have a carb or shotgun shell starter. Pure dumb. I love you, Brady. You're gonna, when I tell you a super duper secret, you're gonna freak out. Washington State in the middle of nowhere, right on. Let's see. Taking, I have a BSA 250. Ooh, yeah, there you go. Rob H. Hey, Morgan, 10 inches of rain here in NorCal. Oh my gosh, after a long dry period. No more dust next ride. Yes, that's awesome. CR High Factory Mount Mark. Okay, wow, and it needs a longer cable. I mean, the other thing is, it could just be weird. James Tully, what's the ETA on those coffee cups? That's great that you asked. I'm glad you did. I got an email from Yeti, and they said they're going to ship either this week or next week. Is what they're like. That's what they're hoping. So we'll see. Hopefully that happens. So yeah, very soon. Also, Mark, my buddy's shirt code that I wrote in a video. Anyway, that's come. Actually, that video drops today at 4. You guys make sure you check that out because it's the final decision on the 125. Like my final thoughts, how much I like it, what I don't like, all that good stuff. And then I actually shot another video last night about like the mechanical side of it, like what's worked, what's failed, what's been good, and all that stuff. So, but anyway, I rode my buddy's 2020 Sherco 300 for a little bit longer. And actually, his throttle cable, he had a crash at a race, and his throttle cable got messed up. But I checked it out. It's pretty cheesy. It's pretty inexpensive throttle cable. It looks kind of like the old Electron cables, which are not Motion Pro. And so, yeah, you might be. I mean, if you're going to keep the bike a long time, Mark, you might be like do well to just buy a stock one, send it to Motion Pro, tell them you need it 3 inches, 2 inches, whatever longer, and have them make you a nice one. So. Jimmy Neihart, yep, it's official. I'm an influencer. I don't think so. But let's see. Beverly Boys, I'm looking for a set of rims for riding if anyone has an extra set. Oh, yeah, good luck, Beverly. Most people, I have 4 sets and 2 bikes, and I'm not selling anything. Looking for a 93 starter assembly KTM 300. Oh, boy, Dave Kessler, I don't know. The internet. Let's see. Everything that failed is your fault. That's absolutely true, Brady, on that 125. I 100% agree. Super secret part status. Kim, the super secret status is that it's going really, really well. The status of when I get to talk about it is months, probably. But it's, I think I'm going to be checking again here soon. On it. I can't really say much. Anyway, I think it's going to be really awesome. And the super secret, that's not what I was talking about with Brady. There's another super secret that's happening. And you guys are going to be laughing / excited / making fun / surprised, all that good stuff. But that's going to be a while before I talk about that too. So anyway, it's going to be awesome. Jimmy Neihart, he ain't going to touch me. Let's see. Andy, make Brady ride a kickstart 2-stroke until he likes it. I love it. The Bruce Kennedy, the stealthy influencer, absolutely. Ooh, did you think those thin tools look worth getting? I needed to remove caps on my Sachs forks. Bruce, I ordered a set, so yes, I think they're totally worth getting. I'll be showing that on the Schlog as soon as they show up. I ordered them day before yesterday, something like that. So it'll be next week sometime maybe. Brady Matter Morgan is a super secret influencer. So secret that no one knows about me. Oh, I love you guys. All right, it's 8:10. I got a boogie. I gotta get work done. I love you guys so much. I just so you know, if when you're getting excited about YouTube videos from Oklahoma, from Highland Cycles, I just rebuilt the top end again on the 125 and rebuilt the shocks. So if you guys want to watch those videos, they're coming soon, next couple weeks. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Punk Rock Club, thank you for sticking around to the end. I love you guys the most. And I hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels. Oh, Kevin O'Laughlin, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you very much, Kevin. I really, 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 really appreciate that. Anyway, that's awesome, Kevin. I love you. I hope you guys get out, spread the gospel of two wheels, and I desperately hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you guys to work on, but really more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes.